I've had a lot of people ask me how I got into medical sales, and the same questions keep coming up over and over again. Where do I even start? Do I need a degree for this? What actually matters to the hiring managers? And how do I go from knowing nothing about the industry to actually getting interviews and offers? I get why people are confused because the advice online is all over the place, and some people do make it sound like you need a medical background. Other people sound like you can make $200,000 in 3 months with zero effort. Neither of those are really true, but you don't need a medical degree. You don't need to be a nurse. You do not have had to have worked in healthcare or a hospital before, but you 100% need a plan. So in this video, I'm going to give you the exact 4-step roadmap I would follow if I were trying to break into medical sales from scratch in 2026. So step 1 is finding your passion and niching down into medical device sales. Step 2 is learning the actual skills required to do the job. Step 3 is learning how to show those newly acquired skills to employers so you can get interviews. And step 4 is learning what to say in the interview so you can actually get the offer. So without further ado, if you're new here, my name is Matt. I've been working in medical sales for the past 4 years, inside hospitals, working directly with surgeons. So let's start with step 1. So finding your passion and niching down into medical device sales. This is where a lot of people will mess up right away. So they say, I want to get into medical sales, but they do not actually know what kind of medical sales they are talking about. And that matters because medical sales is a huge umbrella. So when people hear medical sales, they picture one or two things. Some either think of a slick salesperson in a suit cold calling doctors all day, or the trauma rep getting called into the operating room at 2 in the morning. And sure, both of those do exist in some form, but that is not the whole industry. So that's why I usually recommend people start by learning about medical device sales specifically. So medical device sales gives you a clearer path into the industry because it combines business, healthcare products, procedures, and relationships. So you're not selling random things over the phone. You are learning how to use products used in real clinical environments, how hospitals make decisions, and how reps support surgeons, staff, and accounts. Even within medical device sales, there are a lot of different lanes. So you've got associate reps learning the ropes and supporting territories. You've got clinical specialists standing next to surgeons and helping them use complex equipment. You've got capital equipment reps selling million-dollar imaging systems on long deal cycles. And you've got territory managers running their accounts almost like their own business. Then on top of that, you have different specialties. So you have orthopedics, cardiac, robotics, advanced surgical, wound care, diabetes, and a lot more. So the day-to-day in each of them will look completely different. So the first step is not just saying, I want medical device sales. First step is figuring out what medical sales actually fits you. Are you interested in the operating room? Do you like anatomy and procedures? Do you want something more relationship driven? Do you like the idea of being technical and clinical? Do you want a faster paced role, or would you rather sell bigger products on a longer sales cycle? So you do not need to have the perfect answer on day one. I can't stress this enough, but you do need to start paying attention to what actually interests you, because that is what gives your job search the direction that you want it to go. And if you try to apply everything, your story is going to sound very generic. You can say, I've been learning about medical device sales and I'm especially interested in orthopedics because I like the mix of anatomy procedures and operating room support. That already does sound more serious. This matters because companies are not just looking for someone who wants a high-paying job. They want someone who understands what they are walking into, and that a lot of times is the hardest part. Now, step 2 is learning the skills to actually do the job. This is the part people want to skip a lot, but you really can't. You don't need to become a doctor. You don't need to memorize an entire medical textbook, but you do need to learn how to speak the language. First, you need medical terminology and anatomy basics. You need to understand basic language used in hospital procedures and product conversations. If you're interested in orthopedics, you should know bones, joints, implants, and procedures. If you're interested in cardiac, you should understand basic heart anatomy, common procedures, and the types of products used in that space. You are not expected to know everything before you get hired, but if you cannot explain what you've been learning, nobody is going to believe you are serious. So second, you need to understand the hospital environment. So medical device sales is not just you and the surgeon. There are surgeons, nurses, scrub techs, operating room directors, materials managers, value analysis committees administrators, and a lot of other people involved. So some relationships are clinical, some decisions are business decisions, and the best reps understand both sides. So you should know who these people are, what they care about, and how a product actually gets from a medical device company into an operating room. Third, you need basic sales fundamentals. So you do not need to become a hardcore sales guru overnight, but you need to understand prospecting, follow-up CRM systems, professional communication, handling objections, and running a meeting. So this is still a sales job. So being clinical helps, but if you can't communicate, follow up, stay organized, and move a conversation forward, you're definitely going to struggle. Fourth, you need problem solving skills. So this is one of the biggest differences between average reps and strong reps. So you need to learn how to think ahead. What can go wrong in this case? Is the inventory there? What does the surgeon usually ask for? What does the operating room team need before they even start? Ask them. And what happens if there is a back order? What happens if a product doesn't show up on time? A lot of this job comes down to preventing problems before they become visible to everybody else. Finally, you need communication skills. You have to be able to explain a technical product to a non-technical person. You have to write clear follow-up emails. You have to speak professionally with a surgeon 1 minute and a materials manager the next. These skills matter more than people realize. And now this is where training can help. So there is no legally required certification for medical device sales. Nobody is checking for a license the way that they would with nursing or certain trade jobs, but that does not mean training is useless. So when you're trying to break in without industry experience, structured training helps you prove that you are taking this seriously. It gives you baseline knowledge, gives you language to use in interviews, and helps you avoid sounding like someone who just found out about the industry last week. So that is why I put together a free medical device sales intro course that teaches you what the industry is, what jobs exist within it, who it is a good fit for, and how to start getting hired without, any kind of medical training or healthcare background. So, and if you want to go deeper, the full Course Careers medical device sales course covers the industry knowledge, terminology, sales process, resume, LinkedIn outreach, and interview prep. So you can click the link to start free and save $50 off the full program if you decide to purchase. But whether you use my course or not, point is this, you still need to build the skills before you develop anything else and before you expect employers to take a chance on you. And now step 3 is learning how to show your newly acquired skills to employers so that you can get interviews. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. They spend the time learning about the industry, but then their resume and LinkedIn still look exactly the same as they did before. So to an employer, nothing has changed. You might have been studying medical term, learning about hospital buying committees, practicing interview scenarios, and talking to reps on LinkedIn. But if none of that shows up in your resume, your LinkedIn, your outreach, conversations, hiring managers, they're never going to know. So your job is to make the effort visible. So that starts with your resume. So if you're coming from another industry, you need to translate your past experience into language medical device companies care about. So customer service becomes relationship building under pressure. Retail sales becomes consultative selling, follow-up, and hitting target. Athletics becomes competitiveness, coachability, and performing under pressure. Operations becomes organization, logistics, and attention to detail. Healthcare support becomes comfort in clinical environments. You do not want to lie or exaggerate, but you do want to connect the dots for the employer. So then you need your LinkedIn to tell the same story. So if a recruiter clicks on your profile, they should immediately understand that you are intentionally pursuing medical device sales. Your headline, about section, experience, and activity should all support that. Not in a desperate way, but in a focused way. So you can post about, what you're learning. You can connect with current reps. You can comment thoughtfully on industry content. You can mention that you're building knowledge in medical terminology, hospital workflows, and sales fundamentals. Again, this goal is not to pretend you already have the job. The goal is to show that you are doing the work. So then comes the outreach. Most people apply online and will just wait. So that is usually not enough. So you should be reaching out to associate rep, territory managers, recruiters, and people working in specialties you're interested in. Not with the same, and some massive copy and paste message asking for a job. Keep it simple. Something like, hey, I saw you're in orthopedic device sales. I'm working on breaking into the industry and been learning the basics, anatomy, hospital workflows, and, the associate rep role. So I would really appreciate 10 minutes to hear how you got started and what you think entry-level candidates should focus on. That kind of message works better because it shows effort before you ask for anything. This is where also your research skills matters. So believe it or not, being able to find your own answers is very valuable in this industry. So you're not expected to know every product or every procedure, but you are expected to be resourceful. So if you do not know what a term means, look it up. If you see a product in a job description, research it. If someone mentions a procedure, go learn the basics. Do not be the person who asks someone else every single thing that could have been found in 2 minutes. The 2 people who stand out are the ones who learn, apply, and then ask better questions. Now, step 4 is learning what to say in the interview so you can actually get the offer. Getting the interview is only half the battle. So once you're in the interview, the company is trying to answer a few basic questions. So do you understand what this job actually is? Are you coachable? Can you handle pressure? Can you communicate clearly? Do you have a work ethic to learn a technical industry? And do we believe you will stick with this when it gets hard? Now that is what you need to prove. So one of the biggest mistakes people make in interviews is only talking about how badly they want the opportunity. Wanting it is not enough. You need to show evidence. So instead of just saying I'm really interested in medical device sales, you want to say something more like, over the past few months, I've been learning medical terminology, studying how hospitals make decisions, and speaking with reps in orthopedic surgical device sales. What attracted me to the path is the combination of sales, clinical knowledge, and being in a high pressure environment where preparation really matters. That answer is stronger because it shows that your interest isn't really random. So you also need to be ready for scenario questions. Questions like, how would you handle a back order the morning of a scheduled case? Or what would you do if a surgeon was frustrated with your company? How would you learn a brand new product over the weekend? Tell me about a time you handled a, high pressure situation. Tell me about a time when you failed and what you learned. So for questions like this, the exact answer matters less than your thought process. They want to know if you stay calm, communicate clearly, take ownership, and think through problems in a professional way. So don't just give a vague answer. Walk them through what you would do, who you would communicate with, what information you would gather, and how you would protect that relationship, how you would prevent it from happening again. And that's how reps think. So you also need to be ready to explain why you are a good fit, even if you do not have direct experience. So this is where your past background matters. So maybe you worked in customer service and learned how to deal with frustrated people. Maybe you played sports and understand pressure, preparation, and feedback. Maybe you worked in sales and know how to prospect, follow up, and handle rejection. Maybe you worked in healthcare and understand how clinical environments operate. So whatever your background is, your job is to connect to the role. And when they ask why medical device sales, do not just say money. Money can be part of the motivation. That is real, but it cannot be the whole answer. So a stronger answer is, I'm drawn to medical device sales because it sits at the intersection of business and healthcare and problem solving. I like that the job rewards preparation and relationship building, but also requires you to keep learning technically. I know it is not an easy industry to break into, but that is part of the reason why I'm taking the preparation seriously. That kind of answer sounds mature, and it shows you understand the opportunity and the difficulty. So now let's clear a few stereotypes here before we wrap this up, because these stop a lot of people. Saying it again, you don't have to have a healthcare background. You don't have to be a science genius. Most of this job is practical, not academic, so you also do not need to be young. People break into medical device sales in their 30s, 40s, or even later sometimes. So if you're changing careers, you probably bring valuable indirect skills with you. Managing pressure, relationships, solving problems, or working with different types of people. Those do transfer directly, and you do not need to be the loud, backslapping salesperson stereotype. So honestly, the best reps that I know are usually the best listeners in the room, not the loudest talkers. You also don't need to know your way around everything on day one. Nobody does. The people who succeed are the ones who keep learning when things do not make sense immediately. If I were starting from zero in 2026, here is the roadmap I would follow. So first, I would figure out whether medical device sales actually fits my interest and start narrowing towards a specialty. Second, I would learn the basic skills, anatomy, and terminology, hospital workflows, sales fundamentals, problem solving, and communication. And third, I would make those skills visible through my resume, LinkedIn, networking, and outreach, so employers had a reason to interview me. And fourth, I would practice explaining my story, my preparation, and my thought process so that when I got interviews, I could turn them into offers. Realistically, if you're starting from zero, I would give yourself 3 to 6 months of consistent effort. It could happen faster, sure. Could it take longer? Probably. You're going to get rejected. You're going to feel lost sometimes. You're going to feel behind. And when you land that first role, you might feel imposter syndrome. So standing in a med sales job for the first time, it's not a sign you're bad at this. It's a sign that you're learning. So this definitely isn't a shortcut career, but if you're willing to make serious effort for it, medical device sales is one of the best careers that you can get into this day. So that is the roadmap for it. Find your lane, build the skills, and show employers the proof, and learn how to interview like someone who's ready for that opportunity. So if this video helped you, drop a comment below and let me know which medical device specialty you would like me to break down next.